If you want better posture, stick around. This is a short yoga practice for strengthening your postural muscles. I'm Cindy, a yoga teacher and wellness coach. We're going to start just sitting on the floor. We're going to warm up our spine before we go into anything. And the spinal warm-ups are the 6 directions of the spine. You're going to sit with your legs crossed. You're going to inhale to stretch your spine forward and exhale to stretch your spine back. And we're just going to do this a few times, going more quickly in order to really warm up the spine. On the next inhalation, come into center and exhale. And now let's go side to side. One arm reaches up and over as the other one supports you. You're going to inhale as you curve one direction, exhale to curve the other. Again, try and let this be as quick of a movement as is comfortable for you. It's just going to really help to warm up the spine. On the next inhalation, let's come back into center, sitting tall. And exhale, relax, and then bring the hands up to the shoulders. Our last 2 directions is twisting left and right. You're going to inhale as you twist one way, exhale to twist the other. And you can keep your head forward or you can bring your head around. If you bring the head around, definitely close the eyes to prevent that dizziness feeling. Good, let's inhale and come into center. Exhale and relax. Great. Now we're going to come down to lying on our belly. So moving down into what we call crocodile pose, however you get there, lying against your abdomen. We're going to let the elbows come underneath of the shoulders. Forearms are parallel. This is Sphinx pose. And you're going to press down into your elbows and isometrically draw them back towards your side ribs. So there's an action down and then back. And as you draw the shoulders down and the elbows down and back, you're going to feel how your shoulders also draw down and back. And that's going to give a nice curve in your spine. And it's going to start to activate the muscles in your upper back. Typically, our bad posture comes from hovering over a computer or anything done forward. It can come from a lot of driving, mostly a lot of sitting, and it causes the muscles in the upper back to get weak. So here we're just gently strengthening as we press down and draw back. It's also going to create a nice opening into the lumbar spine. If that is too intense for you, you can always walk your elbows more forward. That'll lay more of your belly against the floor and it might be more comfortable. You can still push down and draw back. Really feel the upper back starting to work here. Let's take one more breath. And then gradually release down, letting your elbows swivel out to the side, keeping your head centered. Bring your hands back by your sides. This is our moving locust pose, Shalabhasana. You're going to lift up as you exhale, squeezing your shoulder blades together, stretching back with your fingers and toes. And then inhale, and you're just going to lower back down. We're going to keep moving with the breath. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Do a few more. Feeling the squeeze of your shoulder blades as you activate the whole of your spine to lift up as much as you personally can. On this last one, we're going to lift and we're going to hold. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Reach back with your fingers. Try and touch your heels with your fingertips, really getting that lift up. Good, and then relax. Place the hands under the shoulders, press up into a table pose, bringing the knees right under the hips, wrists right under the shoulders, and we're just going to do a really small cat-cow, letting the spine lift towards the sky as you exhale and then lower towards the floor as you inhale. And then let your cat-cow grow, slowly getting bigger and bigger until you're in your full range of motion. On the next exhalation, let's hold our cat pose, letting the head drop. Good, and then gradually release. And then back up the hands. We're gonna come to kneeling. Put the weight over into one of your knees, step the other foot forward. Now we're gonna stay in the arrangement where the shoulder is in line with the hip, is in line with the back knee. And then with this knee, as we're in this alignment with the torso, we're gonna have this knee over the ankle. That way, when we start to drop the hips forward, placing a hand on the front knee, the knee is going to go out past the toes. And as you do this action, supporting yourself with your hands on your knee, you'll get a nice stretch along the back of the leg. And it just can feel a lot more stable to be here. And then reach the chest up towards the sky any amount. You can even push into your hands to give a little more assistance. You can stay with your hands on your knee, or you can bring your hands back behind you, clasping hands together and straightening the elbows. Really getting that lift up, getting the stretch across the chest that we so desperately need when we're hunched over, we're trying to get our posture to open. Just letting the chest and the front body open. Take one more breath here. Good, and then let's relax. Hands come back to the knees so you can back up and switch sides. If it's hard to make that action of switching sides, you can put your hands down and step the foot forward. You don't have to just step forward. Again, lining up your torso with your back knee and then lining up your front knee and ankle. Let's bring hands to the front knee and then start to work the hips forward, bending the front knee a lot. It is okay if your front heel comes away from the floor a little, as long as you feel stable. If it's too much, you can always back up your hips, wiggle your foot more forward, and come into something that feels more comfortable. Keep lifting up through the heart, getting that nice back bending sensation. Hands can stay on the knee or clasp hands together behind your back, straightening the elbows, lifting the heart. Take some breaths into your heart space. Good, and then let's relax. Bring hands back to the knee, back up, and come to kneeling. And we're just gonna crawl forward a little bit so that we can come to sitting. Once seated, shoot the legs out in front and grab hold of either a couple of rolled up towels or a couple of yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, it is okay to use towels for this. We're basically going to create a bench for our heart and our head. And we do that by laying one block at its lowest level. That's going to go directly beneath the shoulder blades. And then the other block is going to be one level up or even 2 levels up, depending on how much movement forward you have with your head. That's going to be your pillow. Then bending the knees, placing the feet flat, you're going to lean back, trying to find the proper placement for the block. Again, you're going for right under the center of the heart, and then using your hands behind your head, you're going to lower your head to your block. And if you keep your hands behind your head, that just helps you to not strain your neck as you come into the position. So that the block is going to lift the center of the heart the most. That's the highest point, and that might feel rather comfortable. You want it to be nice and comfortable. If it's not, try moving up or down. An inch can make a big difference. Again, make sure your head is supported, and then we're just going to take the arms out into cactus arms or goalpost arms, letting the elbows be bent at about a 90-degree angle. Elbows straight out from the shoulders. You could go higher. You could do more of a V position if that is not too intense. You want to be able to rest your hands down, try to let some weight come into your arms, and it shouldn't feel like a big strain in your shoulders. And if it does, again, just choose something, maybe a little more bend in the elbow. You could even bring your hands by your sides if you need to. That'll even lessen some of this work more. And you're going to stay here for about 3 minutes. And this pose is probably the most important one that you can do when you're trying to get a better posture, when you're trying to allow your thoracic spine to come out of that deep forward fold that can be so common the more and more work we do with the head forward position.